Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. It's me, it's CCT. FW. It's Cobra Commander TFW. It's Andy here. For those not aware, not in the know, not in the how, and not in the where or the why or the when, that was a little nod to famous DDP. DDP, the wrestler, who's a good boy, who's doing a lot of good work. Actual good work, not like sarcastic good work. He's out there helping people and giving them some crazy yoga stuff to make their lives better, which is great. I'm always happy to see a wrestler not die, which seems to be the prerequisite for a lot of wrestlers. They seem to not live long just because of the grueling work that they do. So DDP is out there helping people, and that's amazing. It's just me this week. No Mikey. He has been diseased of some kind. Someone has came to his home and stolen his voice. Now, some of you may say that is a boon. Some of you may not. Some of you may be like, hey, how could you steal my precious Mikey's voice? He is my child. I wish to protect him like a small anime girl who needs protecting. Unfortunately, Mikey has not been protected. He has been ravaged by some sort of disease, some sort of Irish plague. I don't know what it is, but it's got him, and it got him good. So it's just me this week, mainly because we were rolling the dice yesterday. We were rolling the dice whether he was going to be well. I was like, "Do you want to record tonight, Mikey?" And he was like, I could tell this through his text, though his texts were clear. I could feel the gargling blood within his throat. So we were like, "Okay, we'll give it a day, see how you feel." Wasn't really enough time to get anyone in last minute, and I thought, okay, right, we'll just I'll get the show done. Just me, just Andy. Surprisingly, it was kind of slightly fortuitous that I put it off since we got a bit more news on Secret Project, which you know. If you're into Transformers, you already know what it is. If you don't, you'll find out when we get there, but it's a masterpiece. Spoiler. So, we may as well kick off with, what are we going to kick off with? Do I consider this crappy news? I'm in that, that can be crappy news. That certainly can be crappy news. Okay, starting off with crappy news. Potentially, from, different, it's probably crappy news. Let's be fair. So, possible new Nizha, apologies on pronunciation and whatnot. X Transformers construction brick kits. Yes, apparently the technology still exists to make an inferior Lego brick, and it seems like we're going to ship that terrible technology over to China. So, or let them keep. I don't know. I can't remember where the Constructbot kits were made, but it seems to be in a crossover with the. I think it's meant to be crossed over with those Journey to the West Transformers we talked about either last week or the week before. Because we've got some artwork, and one of the pictures seems to be the Monkey King or one of the characters from that as one of the characters on the artwork here. So what is it, Andy? Get to the fucking point. Well, it's an ambitious crossover which will apparently have its own TV series, which is odd. And this is the first product from that line. Apparently. I'm guessing that the other thing is different, or this is written incorrectly. I'm not sure. So, the promotional image features the art and logos we've seen previously from the previous story, I suppose, which I talked about. And it also shows 4 sets. You'll never guess who they are. Never. It's Optimus Prime, it's Megatron, it's Bumblebee, and it's Windblade. I guess Windblade's the curveball. Yeah, sort of. You could have probably swapped out her with Soundwave or Starscream as the usual fish. But I guess Windblade's kind of lumped into that slot as well. So these Lego kits, or not Lego kits, are going to be about 25 centimeters tall with a second vehicle mode built in. So I'm guessing that's suggesting no parts forming or unbuilding and then rebuilding, which was always a bit of a nuisance with their kits. Because let's be fair, when you, it was always a pain to unbuild a set. Because I don't know about you guys, but whenever I built a Lego set, I enjoyed it as that set. I never wanted to unbuild it and then rebuild it. And for a play pattern, that's a terrible play pattern to unbuild a Lego set and then rebuild it, because it's like, oh, I'm going to transform. 20 minutes later, I'm in my vehicle mode and we've driven, and now I've got to turn back to robot mode. Another 20 minutes. It kills creative play. Well, it is how I see it. The sets are going to be about 400 pieces, so not massive. I can't offhand think what a Lego equivalent would be, but the Lego experts out there, I'm sure know. Someone who's whapping into Amazon.com or the Lego store will probably be able to find this out. Anyway, take this with a grain of salt until we get an official confirmation, is what the story says. Not exactly sure why it says that, but it says it's a rumor that's via the trans fans Facebook page. So maybe I guess this is to cover the base of if this is a Photoshop job or something that's not quite real. It's there to be like, well, it's not happening. Now, how do they look? I suppose is what you're also thinking. They don't look terrible. They look a lot like, because I remember the Kreo, that's what it was called. I have still, unfortunately, the Kreo Megatron, one of the first sets that came out. He was terrible. He is pretty terrible. These have a better shape to them. They're smoother in the idea that there's less studs kind of just plobbing about everywhere on them, which is not... It's not great for a robot design, especially one that's trying to emulate Transformers as hard as these are meant to be going for. But they're using a lot of the joints that from what I remember, the Kreo sets did. If not, actually no, these joints remind me a lot of the Exo Force Lego sets as well. I can't remember if again offhand if Kreo used the same joints, but at least in these images, they look like the Exoforce joints from Lego, if you're not aware. Windblade's a bit more messy, mainly because of her wings, and they've just kind of left the studs everywhere on her. She seems to come with no sword either, so she's more... she's a lot more, what is it? Wind than blade, I suppose you could argue. She has no blade, which is a bit of a bummer. But it shows things like her little turbines are meant to spin and do all that kind of jazz. Something happens with her knees, apparently, but I can't really tell from the image. It's got like a twisty motion, but I don't think it means her kneecaps shift, because that would be that'd be weird. They've got a lot of these kind of twist symbols on the images, and I'm not sure exactly what they mean. Again, it's on Megatron's knees as well. I can't imagine you twist his kneecap around. Maybe that's for the transformation? I don't know. These look fine. They don't look great. They don't re-inspire me to be like, you know what? I'm going to give you boys at Hasbro another chance with this Lego malarkey. I'm like, no. If I'm going to go a Lego, it's going to be a Lego. That's all I got to say about that. So yeah, it's another step into it. I suppose it doesn't even mean that we'll have these available to our market. We might, or we might not. I suppose time will tell, and maybe the success or failure of it will probably be a deciding factor. Like if these sell ridiculously well in China, maybe Hasbro will try the market over here. Maybe they won't. Not sure. Custom third-party news, as Transcraft, who is a fairly new-ish third-party company, who did Mohawk, the Last Night Mohawk we talked about a few weeks ago, the bike with the Mohawk from the movie. He looked, I said, like Streets of Rage character. They've shown off a prototype image of the very innovative name of TC-02 Bumblebee Movie Bumblebee. No, it's just yeah, Bumblebee movie Bumblebee. So it's the Bumblebee movies version of Bumblebee again. I think I mentioned on again the show or 2 weeks ago that Bumblebee movie's gonna be a thing, and it seems like it is because we've got 3 now coming out. It's like okay, it's fair enough, but it feels like there's a lot fairly quickly. We haven't been told what the scale of this is going to be, but because of what Mohawk seems to be, it's fairly safe to assume that it's going to be Masterpiece scaled, because that's what Mohawk was. So it's not a huge jump of logic to go, hey, this will probably be, Masterpiece scaled as well. Fair enough. So what do we see here? How does it look? Well, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Bumblebee from the movie. He has accessories such as knives coming out of his arms. He can have a robot gun arm. Well, of course, it's a robot gun, but yeah, he can have a gun coming out. Backlives do matter for this figure, so if Jobby was involved in this, he would be fairly pleased, I think, because the back seems quite tight. I would imagine there's going to be clear plastic on this, but it being a super prototype to the point where you're like, oh, I'm looking at these pictures and I'm actually terrified in its vehicle mode that it's just going to explode. It looks real ropey, but that's what prototypes are like. I'm wondering how much they're going to go in for the translucent plastic and then paint over the top of it, because they do that, and I do get it, but hopefully they won't go too crazy with it just because translucent plastic can be a bit scary. There's also some images of this Bumblebee next to some silhouettes. Who could they be? Bumblebee, yeah, it's a joke. It's not a great one, but it's there. So the images are a one that looks like potentially, and if you even want to say potentially, Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, and then there's a big cast lineup where Prime's there as well. There's an outline that looks like Bumblebee, but it could also be Cliffjumper, I suppose. There's actually 2 that look close to each other. One that has a smoother head, which I assume is probably Cliffjumper, and then the other one which has the little, I guess, the Bumblebee antennas from the movie, and they just slightly pop up the side of his head. On top of his head, I should say. It's kind of that look, so I assume that's the Bumblebee we're looking at here. There's one which is really difficult to make out because the silhouette's getting kind of covered up by Starscream's silhouette. Oh, sorry, Blitzwing. And then there's obviously Dropkick, so it'll probably be Dropkick and the other one. Whoever the other one is off the top of my head. I mean, that wouldn't be a huge shock. And it would be nice to have a better Dropkick. Shatter and Dropkick. It'd be nice to have better versions of those 2 since they were okay. They were okay designs. So, hey, it seems like this company's going all in on the Bumblebee movie designs. So that's fine. I might have put in, I know he's not a big thing in the film technically, but I might have put in Soundwave because, he looked pretty good. He looked okay. Looked all right. Yeah, RC looked scary. I remember that. She had a weird face. No judgy, though. Actually, well, that is judgy, so yeah, judginess. Anyway, Devil Survivor. The guys that we seem to be talking about each and every week, because they keep on putting out prototypes each and every week, have put out another prototype for this week. This week's been the DS-05 Landslip. Not Hand Slip, the Landslip. Being Scrapper, their version of Scrapper. It's a movie version. It's unpainted, of course, from Revenge of the Fallen. We have a few shots of him. Gonna be interested again to see how he comes out as a painted version, but the silhouette again is quite interesting and unique. Still doesn't look like a Transformer I would go for. We see the leg mode, which is a bit of a wobbly mess, but that's, I suppose, what it should be. I think the coolest thing about it is he has a mace on a chain on his arm, forearm, something like that. That looks pretty good, and he also has 3 hooks that kind of are, again, on little metal chains that come off of his back. So I'm always down for and when I say like hooks, they're more like what's a good way to describe how these look? They look like bat grappling hooks that he'd use to like attach to a wall or something like that. So he'd shoot his little bat grappling hook and it would like impale into the wall and dig into it, that kind of thing. Or you could even say the big hooks, the big arrow hooks that the Uruk-hai used at the Battle of Helm's Deep, you know, so they could raise their ladders up. But that kind of design, it's neat. It's again fairly solid. I think movie fans probably be happy with it. I assume. Not being one, I can only throw guesses into the water pond. But there's another one. So Ace. I don't know actually how many there are out now or have been shown. I mean, we know obviously we're getting all of them. I just don't know when they're all going to be done. And I don't think we still know how much they are. Maybe we do. Maybe it has been told and we just haven't well, I haven't noticed. But I imagine he's going to be expensive just because it looks big and there's lots of them. So, yeah, it makes sense. Moving on to some Japanese news. We have, I guess, our first prototype packaging sample images of the Furai Action IDW Optimus Prime. For those not aware, Flame Toys are the guys that do the new fancy model kits. And what this is the action figure line, but it's the model kits, but they're fully assembled and fully painted. I don't know whether that means they'll be made with different plastics to give it a bit more of a toy feel versus a model feel, which is it's hard to it's not hard to describe, I suppose. But if you're a person who's only collected toys, you know, action figures and whatnot, and you've never touched a model kit before, there is a difference in the weight of them. Like a model kit is a different kind of plastic, so they feel a lot lighter. And to someone who's maybe never handled a model kit before, maybe a bit chintzy, they're not, but it might feel it. So I don't know whether they're going to do anything fancy like that with it or not. Apparently, this is going to have a special battle damage finish, which makes my scrotum shrivel up as I consider the War of Cybertron stuff. 4 of Siege, that stuff. So hopefully it won't be as over the top as that. But for someone who doesn't do any painting, that'd be fine. Maybe, as long as it's not crazy. And more importantly, it's for those people out there who want this design, but either don't have the time to put together the model kit, which is a bummer because that's one of the most fun parts of the model kit is putting them together, or just gets really fucking pissed off about having to paint them or put stickers on them, which I do understand. I am fully behind that. Having to use stickers and going, this isn't what it says on the box, and then you notice the small print and it says, you need to paint it to get this effect, and you cheeky fuck, you cheeky little bastard. Fair enough. This is a way to kind of dance around it. The price of the figure, though, we've got the number here, and the pre-orders are up via lots of different sites. So the pre-order price is going to be $75, and offhand, I'm going to suspect that the kit's unbuilt are 45? Question mark? So you are paying a premium, but you are paying for paint and time. Put it extra time put in. It's a oh no. Oh no. It's a pay to win. You're paying to win. Just like what video games are doing a lot at the moment. Hey, you wanna just jump through this game? Pay us and we'll do it for you. It's like, oh my god, it's for toys now. Where have we came from? This is the nightmare. I don't think Bandai will ever do this because I'm not sure how it. Maybe it would catch on. I don't think I'd do it, but yeah. So there you go. The expected release date for it will be February 2020. Again, this is the only one, as far as I'm aware, that we know of that's coming. I'm looking at it now and thinking, is it like a me? It does look like it's nicely painted. You know, it's all painted as well. It's not just like bits here and there. It's like the entire kit's been painted, so it looks more What's a good way? Again, it's like the 3A, if people remember the 3A kind of paint job, so it looks dense and thick and textured, I suppose the paint is best described as. So it doesn't look like it's just thrown together like, I've just sprayed it red, sprayed some silver at it, and it's fucking done now, piss off. It looks like there's a bit more care in it, so that's good. It does show that he comes with all of the accessories. I don't think he's going to come with anything new or fancy. You're literally just paying for it to be done and to be painted as well. So it'll probably be over at HLJ and stuff like that if you want to go through that way to get it as well. Excuse me, that was disgusting. By disgusting, I mean tasty, because I had a nice dinner, so it's not that bad. Oh, shit. This should have been in crappy news. I've just bounced through the stories and I went, oh yeah, this is dumb. Probably could go in the crappy corner. But I'll throw it in now. Transformers short comic box and comic box store things. You can get supplies for your comics and whatnot. It's some kind of folder. I'm not going to say its fancy name because I don't have Mikey here to correct me. So, what is this? It is literally a box with Transformers themed artwork on to put your comics into. And what's the folder? It's a little box where you can put your Transformers comics into. Cool. It seems to be reusing artwork. Like I see some Alex artwork on there, and on the folder thing, I think it's the artwork from one of the newer Transformers 2019 ongoing series ones, but I can't remember off the life of me which one it is. It's one of them. So, woo! Rock and roll. The box holds, for those interested, 150 to 175 current and Silver Age comics. You know, that it just depends on the size of the paper and, the density of the book itself. So that's a bit more up in the air. While the little folder thing has a capacity of 15 bagged and boarded comics or 20 loose comics. So yeah, a little bit crappy. It feels like stationery kit kind of stuff, but for big boys and girls. For comics. It's the thing. There's no price as far as I can tell, but it's apparently the which were revealed in our November solicitations. Doesn't say when they're out though, as far as I can see. Not that I really care. If they're cheap, okay, go for them. Rock and roll. If they're expensive and you're like, ooh, then I would also join you in the oohing and not in the pleasant kind of oohing either. The I'm gonna rub my finger at you in that shameful manner and go, ooh, don't agree with you, boo. But I don't know for sure. So, anyway, right, back to the Japanese news, because that's where we should be. We're going to kick off with masterpiece stuff. The first bit of information is not a surprising bit. It's yay. I was going to say, hey, Mikey, but Mikey's not here. Well, I can still say, hey, Mikey, because Mikey might be listening and go, oh, that's me. Hey, Mikey. MP49 Black Convoy. Here we go, boys and girls. Here we go. Roll up your socks. Put on your gloves. Put on your little winter hat. It's time. It's time because the first of potentially many repaints of MP, what was it, 44? Whatever MP it was, the 3.0 Prime, it has begun. So, unsurprisingly, they're starting off with Nemesis Prime, Black Convoy, the black fancy version of Optimus Prime. So, yeah, it's begun. It doesn't say anything about accessories, though, so I don't know if it will have less, or it will just be a repaint of those as well, or what exactly. But let's see. It will not come with the trailer, though. What a boon. That's good, because who would want that? So I think that's a plus. And it will set you back 28,000 yen. For those interested, let me hit up the currency exchange thing to give you, the people, an idea. 1,2,3,000 from Japanese yen to UK pound. I'll do American too, don't worry. So in human pounds, That seems to be 198 pounds and 50p, give or take, something like that. That could vary. So I think that's what, 150 less. I think the previous Prime was a 350. I'm not entirely sure. But American-wise, let's have a checkaroonie here. For Americans, it's $256.87 and two. So it's probably like 88 cents, really. But yeah, still a lot. You know, will vary based on when you do it, because markets and prices and we will like that. But yeah, this might be a cheaper way for you to get a version of this mold if you want it. People like Black Prime. He is cool. It's a very striking color scheme. Maybe there is, I don't know for sure, maybe they're going to cut out a load of his accessories. I mean, they've already started with the trailer, you know. Whoa, who cares about the trailer? Some people. Not Andy. And I'm sure not other people as well. And Christ, can you imagine if every repaint was going to come with a trailer? That would be, that could be horrific. Just slowly filling your houses up with plastic trailers which you're never going to use or like, potentially. Anyway, Black Convoy. He be coming. Save up your pennies or don't, because I know Black Arachne is round the corner as well, or is out. And speaking of things you should probably save up for instead, potentially, Takara Tomy show off more of this thing that we talked about a while ago, the Raiden project announcement. Masterpiece Raiden in the works? Question mark? Yes, apparently this was shown off at some kind of little event. A railway story in the sky in Japan, which was a special exhibition of some description. I'll just read the thing verbatim because it's going to be easier on me. Today, images from the event reveal a big poster with Raiden's silhouette and text that translates, starting with Transformers Masterpiece! Raiden project has started. Oddly enough, I would have thought the exclamation mark should be at the end of started. Never mind. It seems Takara has a new plan for Trainbots Combiner Raiden, a Japanese exclusive character from the and toy from 1987, which is as old as I am, which is always horrifying to say. And I don't like that. Now with an upcoming Masterpiece mold. So, interesting. It seems the first foray that Takara is going to be doing into the world of combiners, Masterpiece Combiner specifically, is Raiden. I suppose maybe for most Transformers fans, at least not the weird ones like me and many others probably listen to the show, won't have a massive either affinity for or even knowledge of, because unless you've seen Headmasters or just bits of artwork, I suppose, I know the toy line inside and out, then this might be a thing where you're like, who the fuck is this train boy? And Japan loves their trains, so I think he was a Diaclone. I think he was from one of their things. I'm not entirely sure, though. But I'm slightly sure. So, yeah, I'm going to continue reading the article for a bit longer than throw in some Andy spice. It's not spice. It's just my flavoring. There's still no extra details about this project, but the display at the events features the original G1 toy next to the Masterpiece MP44 Optimus Prime version 3 and MP45 Bumblebee version 2. As well as a monitor showing clips of Raiden from the Japanese exclusive The Headmasters cartoon. So yeah, that seems to be it. Now, my hope as a selfish little boy was going to be, you know what they're going to do? Reissue of the original G1 toy. I was like, ooh, and then I started reading the story and went, okay. Mainly because I'm not a Masterpiece collector. But what do I think of the idea of them doing Raiden as their first Masterpiece Combiner? I think it's a great idea. I think it's a smart business decision. Because as me and Mikey have said for years, well, maybe not even said it, but we felt it, is, yo, we have an oversaturation of like all of them. There's only like maybe one or two who haven't been oversaturated in the third-party market. That being Raiden as one of them. I was gonna call them the motivators, but that's their European name. I'm just gonna call them the brain masters. The brain masters that form Road Caesar. Those boys, those haven't overly been saturated. Dino King or the monster bots haven't been overly saturated either, but the rest of them pretty much have. Maybe I'm missing out one or two, but everything else, like Devastator, Jesus, Predaking, Jesus, Dinobot combiners, Jesus. So there was definitely a hole in the market for Raiden to have something done. So it's smart because people won't have a combiner Raiden. More than likely won't. I think there was one company that either was going to do it or was in the process of doing it. But I can't remember offhand. This is why a handy Mikey would have came in handy. Hence him being handy. I wonder how well it will do, because it's not a Devastator. It's not a... I think it's fair to say it's not a popular combiner, just because he's a bit more on the obscure scale. I hope it does well, though. Props for going, I suppose, taking the pioneer step into doing Masterpiece combiners, which is very chic. Very cool, fam. Very cool. That's sarcastic, if you couldn't tell. But no, I'm interested to see what they do with the Raiden. I'm interested to see what they do for the engineering for a combiner. Will the backlives matter? How well will they stand as individuals? And how well will they stand as a combined form? How will they be sold? Will they be sold as a set? Will they be sold individually? Will they be sold as 2-packs? Since there's 6 of them, they could do 2-packs and just kind of flop them out like that. Who knows? This is all very early. It's all very new. But hey, I'm interested to see where it goes. Yeah. I don't know where they'd go from Raiden, if they'd continue down the combining route, or what. Like the way that they're dividing up their resources to make Masterpiece toys it seems very strange. They've got this kind of slight dip every now and again, which they go into Beast Wars. Then they have the G1 stuff, which they don't seem to be as focused on now, but they used to be really hard focused on doing that. Or at least the Autobot versions of them, for the most part. Then we have this, which doesn't fit into any continuity. And then we have like Lio Convoy, who again is Beast Wars, but is just a weird one to do, because again it's a Japanese only character. It's strange. It's strange how they've planned to get all these things out. But hey, time will tell on how this turns out. Looking forward to seeing what happens with Raiden. But I really want there to just be a reissue of the original toy. That's my hope and dream. Whether it'll happen, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're really into doing reissues for the most part, so I'm not going to hold my breath. But if this train project, whatever it seems to be shaping up into, whether it's just a fancy promotion to get out Raiden in Masterpiece form, or if they've got more stuff going on with it, I guess time will tell. Anyway, moving on. Transformers trading card game have the Wave 1 Energon box. Or the Wave 1 Energon, I suppose. The Energon edition. So what is it? It seems to be a fancy kind of collector's edition of stuff from the first wave of the TCG. So it comes in a Transformers Select kind of styled looking box. And inside it has 2 boxes with some nice black and white art on them, which each seemingly contain, I think, 15 packs of Wave 1 cards. Only Wave 1 cards, unopened packets. So you have no idea what's in them. And then you get a Energon Cube box. Which is a box which has artwork to make it look like an Energon cube. Then you open it up and you have not card but plastic card versions of with new, I think new artwork on as well of Cliff Jumper, not Windblade, Hail, not what's the bloody name? Slipstream, who are the other ones? Living Weapon Megatron, I think it was another one. I'm kind of bouncing through this video. Yeah, Living Weapon Megatron and Nemesis Convoy and a Bumblebee. So one version of the Bumblebee. I assume they have the same rules as the ones that people were kind of after, because I remember Slipstream was a like San Diego Comic-Con random pack exclusive or something like that. Don't take my word for it, but this seems like another way to get it. The cards are slightly translucent, so in places you can see through the card, which is kind of neat. They are like special versions, and they come with a little card sleeve that you can slide them into with the art on them, but in black and white, and they slide into the center of the cube, all standing up because it's like foam, and then there's like a little drawer underneath which you can pull out, which has a load of energon dice, just so you can keep track of your hits and numbers, and then some foil versions of the battle cards. So it seems like effectively a premium edition of some Wave 1 stuff. Yeah, this was a video done by Pure, who got it and did the unboxing video. He said it was $1.99, and I assume that's not $1.99, and have the horrible suspicion he means $199, which to me seems a bit extreme. It seems a bit much for what you're paying for. There's nothing in there that makes me go, oh yeah. I see the value. You get a nice box, but I know the Wave 1 packs were maybe expensive, but the 30 packs I'm not sure equates to like nearly $200. If I got those numbers correct there, it's like I get this is probably for the hardcore collector, the person who's like dick deep in, who's elbow into the cow deep, or shoulder deep into the cow, and just want something kind of nice and pick up some of I mean, if you've got none of these cards, maybe this is a fancy way of building out your deck a bit more and maybe getting the ones that you really wanted. Obviously, that it's not one for one, because they are, like I say, plastic, and they do seem to have new artwork on them, so it's not like you could be able to flog them online, and it's not going. I don't think it's gonna lessen the value of those, I guess, original versions, since they will still be unique. It's just the rules on them will be the same. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they'll keep going with this and like do it for Wave 2 and Wave 3, etc., etc. I think maybe an issue you could have with this is maybe oversaturating your own fandom base with it. Because maybe people will go, well, maybe I'll just wait for the big fancy box set and not buy any cards. I don't know. I don't like the idea. I kind of like the idea of it, but I also kind of go, for the amount, I'm not sure what the value is here. But if you are interested, I'm sure you can grab these from wherever this is being sold. I have no idea where it's being sold, but it's being sold in places that you can probably buy this from. It seems we didn't talk about this, but when is this? Oh, it's available now. Yay! It was available. Yeah, it is. Oh, no, it's $199.99. It is expensive. Excuse me. Yeah, it's available as of today when I'm recording this, which is December the 2nd, 12 p.m. PST, which I think is California time or something like that. But yeah, expensive. Wayne, I don't... Be a good boy. Don't buy this. Don't buy this, Wayne. I know you're listening at some point. You might be laughing on the bus about me talking to you right now. Anyway, something I'm slightly more interested in, but still slightly concerned as well. We have images of Wave 1 and 2. At least Wave 2 has been revealed, but we have images of Wave 1 of the Cyberverse Deluxe figures from Hong Kong. As people have been showing us what these figures look like out of the box, and what they look like in the box. Oddly enough, we have images out of the box only of Optimus Prime. I don't know why they just showed off Prime and not the other three, but you know, whatever. Okie dokie. So the interesting thing, I suppose, to mention first is what Wave 2 seems to be. So let me shift in my chair so I can get me my mush nearer the screen. So ones that we knew about were Hotshot, Hot Rod, whichever version it is, Grimlock, RC, which I don't think we knew about, and there's another one. What's your name? What's your name? Oh, come on, don't be like this. Don't be fighting me, eyes, or terrible image. Thunderhowl. Who the fuck's Thunderhowl? He's got an interesting head design, I suppose. Originally, I thought it was probably going to be like Blackout or something. Not Blackout, don't be stupid, Andy. Barricade. Barricade or something like that. So, it's a new one. It's a new one. And it seems like the Thubot, McAdam, is going to be splashed out over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It seems like he's going to be spread out over 8, which is a lot. I think too much. I think a bit too much. I don't think he should be split up over 8. Especially over 2 waves. It should be like a 1 wave thing. I don't know. Anyway, so what do we see from Optimus Prime? How's he look? He's got a big boob laser, it seems. His chest opens up and the Matrix fires knowledge at you. It does look a lot better as an actual toy. He can get down on one knee and shoot his gun. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he looks pretty solid. I am still very disappointed that we don't see the other ones kind of in fancy out-of-the-box posing. At least we don't at the moment. But especially after seeing, going to the store this week and, like, seeing what the toys looked like, you know, the Cheeto with the boat suits. These look a lot better, a lot more interesting, as me and Mikey have said before. When are they coming out in the West? And when they're coming out in the UK? Who knows? Expect them to be released next month, so the story says. They're going for $22.87. Seems to be the retailing around, or that seems to be how much they're going for. How much that'll translate when they get to America and when they get to the UK, I couldn't tell you, but that gives you an idea. But yeah, they're coming. It sounds like they're not too far off. I mean, the UK is not going to get these for Christmas. Oh, here's the thing. Do you wonder what pieces you're going to be getting with your Bumblebees? Well, you're going to get McAdam's waist with Bumblebee. You're going to get McAdam's torso with Megatron. You're going to get his left forearm and hand with Prime. You're going to get... oh, this is stupid. You're going to get his right leg with Shockwave. Now, let me tell you, people, how Andy would have done it. I don't care how you would have split this up over the 4. Top torso, mid torso, left leg, right leg. Why? Because then you can stand the fucking figure up. He has no arms, he has no shoulders, and no head, and no weapon, but he is a figure that can stand up. What we have here is like, because it's the forearm, you can't even attach the forearm to the body, because it seems like the shoulder is going to come separately. So you're going to have 3 pieces that can go together, and then a forearm just floating around. At least with my version, you'd have a figure that's standing. I don't know. Because whenever, like, this is the thing, when I build Gundams and model kits like that, I don't follow the instruction, like, order. Which is usually, I think, backwards and stupid. Which usually goes, like, torso, head, arms, legs, waist. And then you know, put the weapons at the end. I always go legs, waist, torso, arms, head, accessories. Just because, you're building a robot up, you're building it so it can stand. I think it looks better. There's less pieces just kind of floating around then as well. So that's how I do it, because I think that's smarter. That's right. I'm saying it. I'm sticking to those guns. The last bit of news for this week, with Andy just alone on his tiddly dod, is another announcement for TF Nation 2020. It's Sumali Montano, the voice of RC from Transformers Prime. So it seems like the theme is actually being focused on this year for TF Nation. Good. Good. We have 3 people from Transformers Prime. Good. It's more than I think we've ever had connected to a theme before. So that is a massive boon, at least in my eyes, because I always it wasn't a big thing where I was like grumbling about it, but I always thought if you're going to have a theme, make it a thing. Don't just slap it on your event book, because it seemed weird. It seems like there's a bit more of a push to have some connecting factors, and it's like, oh yeah, this is Prime themed. Whether we'll have more guests announced in the future, I don't know. These 2 plus God, what's the name? Miko. That'll do. Miko and Miko. That's 3 voice actors. Usually we don't get more than that, and the prices like going up and up for the convention. We don't know about us, but for the convention are going up and up. So I can't imagine there'll be too many more guests announced, but maybe I'm wrong. We'll see in time. Right, that is the news. That's all that fancy stuff done. So I guess the question is, Andy. Yes, Andy, what have you been up to this week? What have you done for fun, if anything? Or have you just, sat in the bathtub and cried again? And no, I haven't done that, luckily. No. Just a quick thought. No, I haven't. So, what have I been up to? Well, I got to see Mr. Gruff, my friend, from the Fluff and Hammer podcast, which you may know, who talk about Warhammer and 40k and all that kind of jazz, and kind of lore details and stuff like that. Go and listen to him. Have fun. He came down to Metro Center and we had fun. Though it was fairly busy. It wasn't stupid, but it's getting to that unpleasant time of year where the Metro Center, which is our big shopping mall, is starting to get a little bit unpleasant, you know what I'm saying? There's a little few too many people there. It's like, let's stop this. It was a Saturday as well, so it was really slamming it in there, getting it real juicy with human flesh. So we chatted, we had some fun. Lads. We also went to Games Workshop with Gruff's ongoing quest to collect every version of the Squig that has ever been made, which seems to be about 32 different molds. So that is his thing. He was also kind enough to buy me a birthday present, which was I'm not going to say the name, the Bone Reapers. I'm not going to say the first part because I can't remember what the pronunciation for it is. And I know that I get annoyed when people don't pronounce things I like correctly. So that's why I'm just going to avoid doing it. So yeah, he got me the Battle Tome. He said, what would you prefer? Would you prefer the Battle Tome or would you prefer the minis? And I said, oh god, no, please no more minis. I still haven't painted any of the other minis that I actually need to get around to because I have been 1, lazy, and 2, I get bummed looking at my paintwork on stuff, and it kind of throws me off doing it, and then the laziness kind of creeps into it as well. So it's a double-edged sword of sadness. But I was interested in this book, but I wasn't super interested in collecting the army because the army disappointed me on a visual level. The lore might be a thing I'm super into, because what these guys are they're effectively skeleton warriors, which I'm usually fucking into because I'm an edgy boy. The problem I have with them is they've gone a bit too off the rails with them. Like they've made them less of skeletons and more like skeleton-esque creations. So it's not like a human skeleton. It's more like an ornate a slightly warped skeleton. So it's a human skull, but it's more. It's got deeper. It's got more sharp cheekbones. It's less of a human design, and they also have these really terrible helmets, which look, in my eyes, awful. What I was hoping these things were going to be, well, I was hoping they were going to be like an addition to the skeleton forces, so they were going to kind of beef them up, because you'd have skeleton warriors, you'd have a unit called Graveguard. So skeleton warriors are kind of your light disposable force. The Graveguard is kind of your medium line troop, and I was hoping the next, because the unit I like in here is the basic infantry. I was hoping they were going to be heavy infantry and support the skeletons in kind of that sense. And again, I was hoping that each of these were going to just kind of flush out the skeleton force a little bit better, but they've done their own thing, which is great and understandable. But they just did some aesthetic choices which weren't 100% for me. When I say for me, I mean like to the point where I want to buy them and build an army for them. I just appreciate them for what they are, but not for a big sexual desire to own more bony boys in this sense. But I am looking forward to cracking into this book and seeing what they're about, because the Age of Sigmar battle tomes are always a lot of fun, and they're really well written, and I'm told that they always get better and better each and every time, somehow through magic and sorcery. He was also kind enough to gift me from his lovely lady Bloodborne, the Game of the Year edition, so I now own Bloodborne, because I bought during the Black Friday sales a PlayStation PS4 Pro, because it was on a deal. It came with Death Stranding, which I don't give a shit about. But the choice was, do you want the normal PS4 Pro, the PS Pro, with Death Stranding, or do you want... Oh, no, it was do you want the normal PS4 Pro with Modern Warfare of some description, or do you want this white one, which is exclusive and meant nothing to me? It was the exact same price, so it literally meant nothing to me. And you wanted to come with Death Stranding, and I went, well, technically, I'm probably gonna, like, if I ever sell the PS4 in the future, the white one will hold slightly more value because it's, in quotations, limited. Again, I don't really care. It's just for the future, it may hold a bit more value. And Death Stranding, I can sell for a decent amount, again, because I don't care about a walking simulator, the game, or Fetch Quest, the game, which is what it is, and some people love it. I find to just not be fun. I've watched people play it, and I'm like, Jesus, no. Hell no. Hell to the no, no, no. Hell to the no. And I thought I'd get a decent amount for that, and it seems like through trade-ins, I will. So I got Bloodborne, so I can play Bloodborne finally, which is a game I've been really wanting to play for a very, very, very long time. Because I lamented the fact that it was PS4 exclusive. Now I've got PS4, so I don't need to lament. The lamentations are over. Anything else? Oh, a box of cheap Gundam kits came in, so I got the Gundam Justice Knight from the Build Divers, which is apparently meant to be very good. I haven't built it yet. It also came with the Hyakushiki. I love the Hyakushiki. I haven't built it yet, but it's a design I've loved for years and years, since I played the very first Dynasty Gundam game. Big fan of it. Looking forward to putting that together. And also the GM Sniper 2, I think it is, from War in the Pocket. I may not like War in the Pocket, but the GM Sniper 2 was a really cool design. He's got some good colors on him, and snipers are always cool. So a giant robot sniper is even better. At least in my eyes. I've been watching The Toys That Made Us. I watched episode 1 and 2 from season 3, so it was on My Little Pony, which was fairly interesting. Oh no, I mentioned this before. I remember, because Mr. Jason Kirk told me about it as well. I watched episode 1, didn't I, which was Turtles, and episode 2 was on My Little Pony. The humor is still a little bit on the grating side for me, but it was better. It's still a bit more... It's still just... calm down. Calm down. I saw The Mandalorian episode 4, and as soon as I saw it, I wish I could say this is a spoiler, but it's not. when I say that the story is Seven Samurais, is the Seven Samurai, you know what the episode is. You know the beats of the episode. You know how the episode's gonna go and how it's gonna end. And I'm fucking sick of the Seven Samurai story. The thing that annoyed me most about it was the fact that Dave Filoni, one of the guys who's working on it, I can't remember in what capacity, but he's already done this fucking story in the Clone Wars, the TV series. He's literally done this fucking episode before. And I mean, I guess you could argue whether you think it's better or worse than that. But as soon as I saw it was just Seven Samurai, I was done. I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch this. And I just let it play in the background and listen to it because I knew exactly what it was going to do. And it did. It didn't do anything special. I was like, for fuck's sake. Now, someone might go, but Andy, didn't Samurai Jack do the Seven Samurai thing as well? And I would say yes. It's not one of my favorite episodes of Samurai Jack. That's for sure. Because I'm fucking sick of it. Throughout my years on Earth, I have seen Seven Samurais adapted into shows far too many times. Far too many times. And they're so close to each other. They're so similar that I get bored of it because I've seen it and they don't seem to do anything new with the idea of the story. So I just called it for me, it was a write-off episode. I didn't care. It still looked nice. Sorry, Star Wars fans, but as soon as I saw that, I was fucking done. I was out. I'm gonna keep watching it, but fuck, I really hope they start getting going with the story, because it's still kind of languishing at the moment, I feel. The only other stuff I've been doing was I've practically finished rewatching the 8th Mobile Suit Team, which is probably the best standalone Gundam series, at least in my opinion. Every episode is really well done. The action progresses. The story progresses fairly well, especially for the year that it came out in, which was I think it wasn't the 80s. I don't think it was 80s. It might be 90s, but I don't think it was much further than that. Does it say on here when it came out? No, it doesn't. I was hoping it would say on my little thing where it did, but no, it doesn't say exactly when it came out. But if you want to get into the Universal Century stuff, which is main like Gundam Zeta, Double Zeta, like if you like, oh, I don't know, like 8th Mobile Suit Team is the best. It's how many episodes? It's 12 episodes. So you don't. It's not like a massive 50 episode investment kind of thing. It takes place on Earth. It doesn't have anything to do with anything of the other stories apart from the fact it's during the 1 year war. It's great. I really like it. Even watching it again. It's a great show, I think. A great Gundam series. So that was it, I think. Oh shit, that was the other thing. I almost forgot. I saw Promare. I was sure I wasn't going to be able to see it, because on the Odeon website, the tickets for sale were up at one point, and then the next time I checked, closer to the date, they were gone. And I was like, oh no, I'm guessing it didn't sell enough tickets. I was like, George, well, I've missed my opportunity. I guess I'm just going to have to wait for it to come out on Blu-ray and whatnot before I see it. But no, then, like, I checked again, maybe a week before the showing was meant to come out, and the tickets were back up, and I went, oh shit, better go out and get my ticket. So I got my ticket, and I went to see it, and it was really good. It was great. I kind of wish the screen was better. I felt quite far away from the screen. It was the design of the cinema seems to be quite a strange one. I wish it had been in my more local Odeon rather than the one only slightly further away. Because my more local one has just better, bigger screens rather than it's built into a shopping mall, so it's, restricted. But yeah, it was great. I saw it subtitled because that's the kind of guy I am. There's a lot of stuff that happens on screen, which made it sometimes a little bit hard for at least my eyes to keep up with it, because there's just so much color and so much stuff going on. But the story was great. I really enjoyed it. The main guy, Gallo, I think he was called. Offhand, I can't remember off the top of my head. I liked his speech during the action scenes because he talked in a very kabuki theater kind of tone and speech pattern. If you know about kabuki theater or kabukis in general, how they stereotypically kind of sound, you'll get the idea. If you played Samurai Showdown, there's a kabuki warrior in there. That's just his style of how he talks. And I was like, oh, this is great. This is fun. The entire show was fun. It had a lot of the voice actors from Kill la Kill in there. So I was like, oh, yes, you and you and you and you and you. I know you, I know you, and I know you. I don't know. I probably missed out on like loads of like proper full-on references. The movie's like, it's a movie. So it's not like the deepest of the plots because it's just a movie. It's not like a show which can go deep into these kind of things. But it was super enjoyable. It was a great premise. It had some amazing battles. It had some great camera work. And anything with Trigger is usually... I can't think of a Trigger project I've not been like, that was an experience. And it's usually a good experience. I would highly recommend, if you're able to in the future, go and watch Promare. It's worth it. It's like all of their work. It's very engaging. It draws you in very quickly, and usually they have a lot of likable characters and whatnot. But that's probably where I'm going to end the show for this week, since it's just me. I've done as much talking as I think I can. Hopefully, it's been an interesting enough show. I do apologize that it was only me, but that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles when your partner in crime gets all fucked up. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening to the show. You can find me on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW, on Twitter CCTFW. That's all the places you need to find me, really. You can find this podcast on Moonbase 2 forums on Twitter, iTunes, Libsyn, Facebook, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You can also head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2, where we, for $2 each month, you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletron 2, and you get it a week early or more than a week, depending on if I'm lazy or forget. The free version of the show From the Files is up now, by the by. You also get the Patreon show, which is Moonbase Woo Woo, which was a thing that me and Mr. Gruff recorded, so that'll be edited and put up on both of our Patreons, because I wanted to do a crossover at some point. It's based on a character who's had a bit of a resurgence recently in Age of Sigmar called Gotrek. He has had a long-going book series within the old world and has just kind of recently came out in Age of Sigmar with a new series. So I wanted to talk to Mr. Gruff about Gotrek because he's a big Gotrek fan. So there's that. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com if you like as well. All of the nonsense and woo-woo if I'm on other places as well. So thank you guys for listening, and hopefully I'll catch you with Mikey next week. See you later, peeps.